Here's what I propose instead, and I call it the leave it at the door principle. Hey, what's up everybody? This is Tony R. Sanders and you are watching The Happy Meter. This channel is all about helping working professionals work happy so that you can live happy. And today we're gonna be talking about exactly that. Let's think about a situation right now. Let's say things are getting really rough in your home life and in your personal life, but you still have people and maybe even an entire organization that count on you to do things well and perform well at work every single day. If that sounds like a situation you've ever been in, drop a comment and let me know. In that time, you have to make sure that you don't let the problems in your life seep over into the problems in your work life. What tends to happen is our personal life and our work life both demand 100% of our attention. And we all know that's impossible. But think about how we normally approach that. We normally take what I like to call the sitcom route. The sitcom route is that classic episode where a guy on the show gets two dates and he tries to be in two places at once. He has a girl on this side of the restaurant and he has another girl on this side of the restaurant. We all know how that ends, right? If you've never seen one of those sitcom episodes of that classic situation, I'd recommend you go watch Miss Doubtfire right now. It happened exactly the way that I'm describing it in that movie. Shout out to Robin Williams. But it normally ends poorly because we can't be two places at once. We can't have our focus over here and over here at the same time. And that's how we normally approach this situation. We go to work, but our focus is still at home. And when we're at home, our focus is still at work. And that's a losing strategy. Here's what I propose instead. And I call it the leave it at the door principle. The leave it at the door principle is simple. When you cross the threshold, that door to the office, or when you cross the threshold coming back home from work, whatever problems you had on the other side of the door, you leave them right there. Now, I know you're thinking, well, how does this work in a virtual environment? We're gonna get to that, but just listen to what I'm saying. Let's get the foundations of the principle down first. The leave it at the door principle basically says this: it doesn't matter what's going on in my personal life. It doesn't matter what happened at home. It doesn't matter if I got a doctor's appointment that I'm worried about coming up soon. It doesn't matter if me and my spouse got into an argument or I can't pay bills on time. None of that matters once we reach the door, the threshold of our working environment. Here's why. We need to take all those things and lay them on the outside of the door and then walk into work with a clear and fresh mind. Nothing is going to help our at-home problems while we're at work, especially not performing poorly. Now we just start to compound problems on top of problems. You ever hear the saying, when it rains, it pours? That's normally because, not always, but normally because people can't compartmentalize one thing from the other. When we're at work, we need to be fully present at work, trying to do the best that we can to perform in our jobs. Performing poorly is not gonna help us with whatever situation is going on outside of work. Here's the other thing to think about. You normally can't do anything about it while you're at work anyway. You're at work and in between calls or in between meetings, in between sales pitches, you're looking at your phone and you're stressing about that thing when you should be preparing for the next call or preparing for the next meeting or preparing for the next pitch. So what you end up doing, just like the sitcom episode, you're focusing on this over here and then it's, oh, I gotta run over here and do this meeting now. You can't be productive that way. You have to leave it at the door. You need to be 100% present on your work projects and whatever you need to get done. You can't truly be impactful to either place if you're not 100% focused. Then it works the other way, because I can hear some of you guys saying, well, what about my family? I don't want to, this is not about neglecting your family or neglecting your responsibilities. It's about focusing on what's in front of you and being present in the moment. So when you leave work, whatever projects you had on your mind, whatever business situations that may come up, whatever challenges you may face, you can take them with you on the ride home, on your commute, take that time, that windshield time to clear your mind. But once you cross the threshold back into your house, you leave it at the door. Those problems, those emails, those phone calls, they're all gonna be there in the morning when you leave out and you're ready to pick them up again on your way to work. They're all gonna be there, I promise you. They're not going anywhere. But when you're at home, whatever responsibilities, whatever duties, whatever challenges you're facing there, it's the same as work. You need to be 100% focused on solving those things. You need to make sure that you're all in on solving those things. And that's the leave it at the door principle. You need to leave it at the threshold of the door and only go in there with what should be on your mind to help you be the most productive at solving the problems that are in front of you. Now, I know some of you are thinking, wait, it's the pandemic, it's coronavirus. We need to make sure that this applies in a virtual space. I don't have a threshold because I leave my bedroom that's right behind me on my Zoom meetings and I walk over to my desk. That's okay. Think about this. The leave it at the door principle can work in a remote environment because it's about where you have your work area. Number one, you should definitely have a determined workspace. I don't care if it's a fold-out table that you leave in the closet and you fold it out and put your laptop on that. If that's all you have, that's great. That's your designated workspace. And once you enter into that space, you need to block off everything else. And I know it's gonna be a little more difficult to do because the problem that you're having may walk by you and go get a cup of coffee while you're on your 9:30 meeting, and that may frustrate you. But you have to learn how to put blinders on and focus on what's in front of you. That's really all it's about. The entire principle is really about being present in the moment so you can be the most effective with the situation that you have currently in front of you. Another good thing for you to do to be able to have that time to leave it at the door, do a motion, a certain activity that signifies the end of your workday. Obviously, you want to leave that environment, but you also, maybe you go take a walk, maybe you go to the mailbox, maybe you put on your Oculus that me and my kids have been playing with, and you take a couple swings at Topgolf just to kind of wind down your day. But you need that space mentally to be able to leave it at the door so you can start to focus on what's most important in the moment. Listen, if you like this video, please like the video, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know how you plan to use the leave it at the door principle. I would love to hear from you guys. And if you like this video, you'll love the next one. Until next time, peace.